why most men will truly never be respected. Fellas, gentlemen, welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these sit down talking videos. The last couple of videos have been a lot of educational whiteboard. But I was sitting down today at my desk and I was really thinking about this. The reason why most men will never truly be respected is because you're not uncomfortable enough. Now, what do I mean? The average viewer that I have, right? I would even say the average person that's into personal development, improving yourself, you have a certain level of ambition. So you're not void, you don't lack ambition. But the truth is, we all like comfort. I myself, I enjoy comfort to a certain extent. But I'm constantly trying to figure out how to challenge myself, how to put myself in different situations, how to feel butterflies in my stomach, which means I'm uncomfortable, right? I remember back when I used to play basketball, I remember before almost every practice or game, I had this like feeling of butterflies in my stomach because I knew we were about to run a lot. Like it was gonna be uncomfortable. It was gonna be challenging. I would have to go to war, right? So to speak. And oftentimes as men, especially as we get older, it's easy to just be stuck in your mundane routine, go to work. Okay, let me go to the gym afterwards. Let me go hop on the game, or whatever you enjoy doing in your time of leisure. Let me go to the bar. Let me just go chill. Let me just go order food. Let me do this. Life is very easy. But what happens when we don't put ourselves in situations where we get butterflies in our stomach is we don't really grow and evolve into the men that ultimately we know that we can become. So recently, I've gotten into martial arts. I've just been challenging myself, doing different things. I'm doing martial arts. I'm doing Pilates, like really fortifying my body, my mind, my soul, right? Always growing, reading, challenging the way that I think, my stances, studying language, studying, heavy text material, trying to understand, being uncomfortable, not being passive. And I realized that I've been candid before with you guys here on this channel. I've spoken to you guys about my past insecurities, my doubts, how I wasn't confident, I was timid, insecure. And being in the industry that I work in as a male self-improvement coach, I come across a lot of guys that deal with issues that I used to deal with. And 9 times out of 10, when we peel the onion layer back and I ask them a certain series of questions, it always comes down to like, they're not doing what they know that they should be doing. They're not challenging themselves, right? They say that they want something and they might take an action, but it's not really consistent. I'm gonna close the window real quick. But it's not really consistent. If you don't take the hard actions for yourself over and over again, not only are you not gonna be confident because you're not truly overcoming, you can go to the gym, fellas. You can have a nice physique. That's not enough. What I mean is like really putting yourself in uncomfortable situations to where you have to rely on you. That's going to build that deeply rooted confidence. And through that deeply rooted confidence, you're going to be respected by other people, right? I know in this current day and age, it seems like there's a gender war. Women want this, women want that. It's tough out here. Whatever situation is going on right now in society, that has nothing to do with you. As long as you are a congruent man, you know who you are, you know what you stand for, you have your code of ethics, which by the way, if you haven't watched my last video where I break down how to become a free sovereign man, check that one out. As long as you have your creed, your code of ethics, you know who you are, you set your boundaries, you're going to get everything you want out of this life. You're going to be in control. You're going to be respected. You're going to be adored. You're going to be admired. Now, when you choose to be this sovereign man, that also comes with some envy, that comes with some hate, right? You might be perceived as being despicable. You might be despised. But when you're authentic, you bring everything to you. And so most men will never be respected because you don't respect yourself. If you respected yourself, you would take the fucking actions to become the man that you said that you want to be. And what's so funny about this is because I say this in a lot of videos. The man you say that you want to be. Because you said it. You said, I want to have this. I want to have the Bentley. I want to do this. I want to be a public speaker. I want to be a coach. I want to be an educator or whatever. You say you want to do this, and you might put in a little bit of work, right? But you're not putting the amount of work that you know that you have to deep down. And I catch myself sometimes too, right? Like, I'm not exempt. I'll have a hard day, and I'll make sure that I just do something to push me forward. And then I'll catch myself sitting down passively, and I'm like, Dud, what could we be doing right now to get better? I said, fuck, let me at least study some investing. Let me learn about some crypto. Let me learn about this. Let me learn about that. Truly taking advantage of every single day. And when I take that 30 minutes, that hour and a half to study this new subject material, right? And then figure out how to apply, I respect myself more. And because I respect myself more, the external world respects me more. All of a sudden, people are drawn to you. All of a sudden, people start telling you, I don't know what it is about you, but there's a level of depth, there's a level of mystery to you, there's an intensity to you. I fuck with your energy, right? You start to get people telling you these things, and it's all because of who you are behind closed doors, what you're doing for yourself behind closed doors, right? How consistent you are. Are you putting yourself in truly uncomfortable situations? Like when I walked into that martial arts gym, I was nervous as hell. I'm not ashamed to say it. Like, I didn't know how to fight. Like, yeah, I had gotten into fights like in the streets, like little scruffles, but it's been a while since I've been in an actual fight, and like I've never learned the technique. I believe a man should constantly be a beginner at something in life. We should constantly be beginners. Like when I'm living in these different societies, like the one that I'm living in now, where I have to speak another language that's not my native tongue, that's stressful. I'm constantly under stress, constantly being forced to learn and get better. Like I'm a beginner at 4 things right now, and I have to learn it. I have to adapt. A man has to be adaptable. You have to learn, evolve, and grow yourself. And so by doing this, I learn how to rely on myself. There's a certain level of resilience, a certain level of congruency, of trust. I have to love myself, respect myself. And because I do all this for me, the external world has no choice but to bow down to the image of myself that I have, right? No choice. This is spoken about in psycho-cybernetics, where your reality, your perception is based off of your beliefs, the culmination of your habits, your paradigm. And so most of you, you'll never be respected. You'll never get the things you say you want, the woman you want, the opportunities, experiences, because you don't respect yourself. And I truly believe that if you take some time to sit down with yourself and think about the reason why you're not as consistent as you know that you should be, it'll come down to you don't believe that you can truly do what you say you want. And once we get there, now you have to dissect, why don't you? Why don't I believe that I can do it? And now the man has to start the process of healing himself and figuring himself out. And once you figure yourself out and you gain true control and dominion over your thoughts, you can never be a slave. You can only be a slave when your opinion can easily be swayed and malleable, when you're a malleable man, when you don't stand for anything. You don't have a bedrock. And most of you, to be frank, don't have a bedrock because you don't know exactly how to get to where you want to get to, what to do. Really, sometimes, fellas, I'm going to give you guys a secret. Sometimes it's not even about understanding how to get to the lifestyle you want, the dream life you want. You don't always have to understand how. You just have to take a step every single day. And oftentimes, even if you aren't sure if that step is in the right direction, you're still going to fortify yourself. Now, yeah, eventually you can get around other guys that are in that direction, that are doing better than you, whether that's a coach, whether that's friends or whatever. But with social media, with AI, with Google, with all these resources, there's no reason why you shouldn't be moving in the direction that you want to. You just got to take that step and then consciously choose to take a step every single day. I woke up this morning, I didn't feel particularly well. I'm not gonna cap. Today was a gloomy day. I didn't feel that good. I woke up and I checked myself mentally. I do a mental check-in every single day. I said, Dud, how do we feel today? And I said, I just feel blah. Like, I don't know. I said, all right, we still got to do our morning meditation. We still got to read our goals. We still got to go train. We still have these appointments. We still have to honor the best version of ourselves. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And because I'm doing that when I don't feel good, I'm going to respect myself even more when I feel great. That's the secret, fellas. The secret is there is no secret. You just got to consciously take a step every single day. And the more you honor yourself, you're going to walk around with true presence. And that presence can be felt from miles away. But that presence is only cultivated when you have these conversations, these intimate conversations with yourself. Who am I? Why do I want what I want? What if it doesn't happen? Right? If money wasn't a factor, what would I be doing for free? What am I passionate about? What issues haven't I addressed yet? Who am I as a man? What do I stand for? What's my creed? What don't I accept? What boundaries do I have? What do I truly want? You have to ask yourself these questions. You can't expect to walk in this life and be respected when you don't have a deeply profound respect for yourself. You guys are walking around too ambivalent. Like you don't know what you want, right? You say you want this. Oh, I'm going to try this. I'm going to go try to do that and copyright and then, a social media marketing agency and this, or let me scroll TikTok and IG. I see this guy doing that, so I'm going to try to do this. Man, you got to stay out the mix and fuck the noise. Everybody's showing highlights on Instagram. Fuck the noise, man. You got to detach from that shit. This is real life. This is real life right here. Even this video that you're watching right now, like you're watching me through a screen. Yes, I'm really right here recording this video. But by the time I upload this on YouTube, that time would have passed. By the time this video is uploaded, I'm definitely doing something else. But all we have is this right now. Right now, I'm choosing to make this video. I'm present, right? In an hour from now, I've got a facial appointment. And then I'm going to train. And then I'm going to film something else. And then I have a coaching call at 2 p.m. today. So choose to be present. Ask yourself these introspective questions. Figure out who you are as a man. What do you want? Why do you want it? What parts of yourself are you running from and not facing? When you answer these questions, you gain dominion over yourself, dominion over your mind. You become a sovereign man. And the world has no choice but to respect you because there's few sovereign men walking around this planet right now.